You can talk about starting in a given place and ending in a different place, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is what's in between, is how you got there.
The digital communications revolution is essentially synonymous with the Viterbi algorithm.
In 1967, he came up with this brilliant idea of how to create a way for processing digital signals.
The Viterbi algorithm was originally developed for decoding of what we call convolutional codes, which are a type of error correction code. They're used to protect information while it's in transit.
I think it's very important because it was really a turning point in the development of communication systems.
It's the best thing since sliced bread. We should celebrate it because of the impact that it's had throughout the world.
The algorithm was simply an offshoot of a more fundamental theoretical paper I was writing. Of course, we never dreamt that it would get into 1 billion cell phones.
It really was transforming us from the age of point-to-point communications with rudimentary radios to the age we live in today, where we're always connected no matter where we're at. So there's very few people that have had that level of impact.
You know, how do you explain to somebody that they're carrying a cell phone that there's this integrated circuit chip inside? It's meaningless to them. So in many ways, you know, the same way we say like Intel inside, there's Viterbi inside.
I find it hard to imagine research in bioinformatics without the Viterbi algorithm. Came along with the technology to do the sequencing, to estimate the production of genes and so on, and then it was essential to be able to analyze it.
So I've developed neurotechnology that aim to treat neurological disorders. Our brain consists of 86 billion neurons, and the activity of these neurons represents our emotions, thoughts, and actions. So if we develop sensors that can measure the electrical activity of these neurons, in a sense, we're getting a noisy signal that represents the underlying state of the brain. So that's the connection between the Viterbi algorithm and our work.
Voice recognition today is all around us, whether it's Siri or Google Voice, or you go home and Alexa, this digital agent, is sitting there. What underlies this, right? So we want to be able to transfuse the spoken signal into the words that underlie them, and that's where Viterbi algorithm comes in. In fact, the word Viterbi now is used as a verb. You know, to run a Viterbi means, you know, to decode the signal.
The Viterbi algorithm is important to JPL because it ensures success of not only sending information to the spacecraft, but getting it back in a correct manner, ensuring that we can determine the health and safety of all of our spacecraft, as well as looking at the amazing data that the spacecraft takes and sends back to us.
This success doesn't come from a flash of brilliance in 1967 that just occurs in your office. It comes from a combination of brilliance, drive, and persistence. And so Andy is that rare combination that was able to do that.
Andy has few peers. I consider myself a little sparrow flying around under the wings of this soaring eagle.
I think another very significant side of Andrew Viterbi is his family.
I was born in Bergamo, Italy. My parents had a very comfortable life there. My father was an ophthalmologist, and all of a sudden he lost his position and everything else as a result of the fascist government under Benito Mussolini, who revoked all civil rights from Jews. So we came to the United States. I was a refugee child. I met my future wife just as I was coming to California, and it was love at first sight.
My grandma and grandpa were definitely the ultimate role models of love, and they also taught us how to work hard and to work hard towards our goals.
So we're celebrating 50 years of the Viterbi algorithm. The Viterbi algorithm is everywhere. The ability for everyone to communicate with almost anyone, anytime now, through cell phones, through the World Wide Web, is really the major enabler. It's changed, it's democratized the world, it's changed everything.
But the impact that he has will be one, I think, in history of bringing people together and making a smaller world for the benefit of humanity.
I think definitely Viterbi algorithm changed the world we're living today.
In transforming our lives, he taught us that we too can dream the American dream.
As I reached the twilight of my life, my greatest success was my family. That's my greatest success and my greatest satisfaction. I don't get excited about the fact that, yeah, every cell phone has this algorithm, which is just a tiny little bit.